Yes, good morning, viewers. Myself, Dr. Sunil Kumar Sharma, Assistant Professor, Siddharth Government College, Nadoon, Himachal Pradesh. Today, I am going to start a lecture series on real analysis. This is lecture number 1 of this series, and the topic of today's lecture is upper bounds and lower bounds. This course is specially designed for the student of BSc second year. So, today we start our session with basic definitions of upper bound, lower bounds, the geometric meaning of upper and lower bounds, and the examples related to upper bound and lower bounds. So let us start with upper bounds. Let A be a non-empty subset of real number R. We say that a real number U is an upper bound of A if for each x belongs to A, we have x is less than equal to U. Geometrically, this means that the element of A are to the left of U on the number line. Look at figure 1. This is a set R of real number, and this A is a non-empty subset of R, and U is an upper bound of this non-empty set A if all the elements of A are less than or equal to U. It means we can say all the elements of A lies to the left of U. Then U is an upper bound of a non-empty set A. In term of quantifier, we can write U is an upper bound of A if for all x belongs to A such that x is less than equal to U. A real number U is not an upper bound of A. Now, two question arises. When we say U is not an upper bound, and second question is, if there exists an upper bound of a non-empty set A, then how many upper bounds are there? So let us discuss both the queries one by one. So if A is if U is not an upper bound of a non-empty set A, then what we have to do? We have to find at least one element of a non-empty set A which is greater than U. So that is, a real number U is not an upper bound of A if there exists at least one x belongs to A such that x is greater than U. This means that in the number line we can find an element of A to the right of U. In previous slide, what we have discussed, that U is an upper bound if all the elements of A lies to the left of U, or all the elements of A are less than or equal to U. But in this slide, we can see that there exists U is not an upper bound of this non-empty set A because there exists at least one x of A which is greater than U. It means there is one element of A which lies to the right of U. So in this case, U is not an upper bound of this set. If U is an upper bound of A, now the second question, if there exists an upper bound U of a non-empty set A, then how many upper bounds are there? So if U is an upper bound of A and U1 is greater than U, there is a real number U1 which is greater than U, then U1 is also an upper bound of A. That is, if a set has one upper bound, then it has infinitely many upper bounds. You can see in this picture, A is a non-empty subset of R, U is an upper bound. Why we say U is an upper bound? Because all the elements of A are to the left of U. Or in term of inequality, we can say all the elements of A are less than equal to U. That is, x is less than equal to U for all x belongs to A. U1 is also the upper bound of this set A. It means U1 also satisfies the same condition. If u2 is greater than u, then u2 is also an upper bound of this set A. u3 is greater than u, then u3 is also an upper bound. In this way we can find u1, u2, u3, u4 and up to so on infinite number of upper bounds of a non-empty set A. So it means upper bound of a set, if exists, then it is not unique. Now uh, we have discussed upper bounds. When we say U is an upper bound, when we say U is not an upper bound, if upper bound exists, how many upper bounds are there? Now on the same way, you can take a pause of 30 seconds and think about how we can define lower bounds. If lower bound L exists, how many lower bounds are there of a non-empty set A? When we say L, L means lower bound. When we say L is not a lower bound of a non-empty set A, so at that point you can stop a video and think about lower bounds, and after 30 seconds or 1 minute you can again start the video and read the slides. So now definition number 2, lower bounds. Let A be a non-empty subset of a real number R. We say that a real number L is a lower bound of A if for each x belongs to A we have L is less than equal to x. Geometrically, this means that elements of A are to the right of L on the number line. Look at the figure 4. Here this A is a non-empty subset of real number R. L is the lower bound of this non-empty set A because all the element of A, that is all the element means x, जितने भी x इस A में belong कर रहे हैं, all x are greater than or equal to L. This L maybe lies on the boundary of this non-empty set A. So this L is said to be the lower bound of A because L is less than equal to A. Now in term of quantifier, L is a lower bound of A if for all x belongs to A, L is less than equal to x. A real number L is not a lower bound of A. So when we say L is not a lower bound, it means we have to find one x of a set which is less than L. It means we have to find a number from a set which is less than L. Then we can say L is not a lower bound of non-empty set. So a real number L is not a lower bound of A if there exists at least one x belongs to A such that x is less than L. This means that in a number line we can find an element of A to the left of L. So you can see in the figure that we have at least one x of this set A, non-empty set A, which is less than L. So it means L is not a lower bound of this set A. If L is a lower bound of A and there is another real number L1 which is less than L, then L1 is also a lower bound of A. In upper bound we have discussed that if U1 is U1 is greater than U, then U1 is an upper bound. If U2 is greater than U, U2 is also an upper bound, and similarly we can find infinite number of upper bounds. On the same way we can find a lower bound L1, lower bound L is a lower bound of A. If L1 is less than L, then L1 is also a lower bound of A. That is, if a set has one lower bound, then it has infinitely many lower bounds. You can see in this figure that this is our non-empty set A. L is a lower bound because L is less than equal to x for all x belongs to A, and L1 is less than L, so L1 is also satisfy the same property. It means L1 is also less than equal to X for all X belongs to A. So L1 is also a lower bound. Similarly, if there exists L2 which is less than L, then L2 is also a lower bound. And on the same way, all the number which are less than L, all are lower bounds. So if lower bound of a non-empty set A exists, then there are infinite number of lower bounds. So we can say lower bound of a set is not unique. Now we will discuss examples related to upper bounds and lower bounds. So example related to upper and lower bounds. Example number 1. Let A is equal to open interval 0 comma 1 be a non-empty subset of real number R. Let us draw it geometrically. This is a set of real number R. This is our non-empty set A. So we can say these are all the elements of A. It means all the X lies here. All X of A lies here. So in this case, we can see that if we talk about 1, then for all X belongs to A, X is less than equal to 1. It means this mean that 1 is an upper bound of A. Can we say 2 is also an upper bound of A? Yes, we can say 2 is also an upper bound because for all X belongs to A, X is less than equal to 2. Can we say 3, 4? What can we say about 3, 4, 5 and so on? All are upper bound. So even 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, so we can say all X greater than equal to 1 for all X belongs to R greater than equal to 1 are upper bounds of A non-empty setting. So here in this example we can find 1, 2, 3, 4 and up to so on. Even we can say for all X greater than equal to 1, X belongs to real number are the set of upper bounds. So now on the same way we can say that 0 is a lower bound because by the definition of lower bound 0 is less than equal to X, or we can say all the element of A, that is 0 to 1, are greater than equal to 0. So 0 is less than equal to X for all X belongs to A. So 0 is and 0 is the lower bound of 0 is the lower bound of A. So what can we say about -1, -2, -3, -4 up to so on? Even all the number lies between -3, -4, -1, -2, 0 and -1. These are all lower bounds. So we can say for all X less than equal to 0 are the lower bounds of non-empty setting. Now my next question is, what can we say about this element X? is x is a lower bound of uh, this non-empty set A. Let x is equal to 0.9. X is equal to 0.9. Is 0.9 is a lower bound of this set A? So answer is no, because we can find a number even 0 instead of 0.9 we can take 0.1. 0.1. So 0.1 is not a lower bound of 0.1. 0.1 is not a lower bound of this set A, because there exists a number 0.09 which is less than 0.1. So we have to find at least one number less than this L. So there is a number, if this is equal to L, then there exists a number 0.09 of a non-empty set A which is less than L. So in this case L is not a lower bound of this set A. Can we say 0.9 is an upper bound of this set? No, because there exists a number 0.91 which lies in set A. So 0.9 is not an upper bound of, so we have to find at least one number. कम से कम एक नंबर फाइंड करना है उस सेट का that number is greater than the upper bound. If there exists a number, then we can say the given number is not an upper bound or lower bound. So let us take another example. Let A is equal to close interval 2 to 10, which is a subset of real number R. So this is our real number R. This is set A. So in this case, all the x lies here within, even it includes 2 and 10 also. So what can we say about upper bounds? These are all the x. So all x less than equal to 10, or all x belongs to A. So 10 is the upper bound. 10 is the upper bound of A. What can we say about 11, 12, 13, 14 and so on? So these are all upper bounds. So there are infinite number of upper bounds. Now lower bounds. Here we can see that 2 is less than equal to x for all x belongs to A. This means 2 is the lower bound of A. What can we say about minus 1, 0, minus 1, minus 2 and so on? These are all lower bounds of a non-empty set A. So if lower bound exists, then there are infinite number of lower bounds. If upper bound exists, then there are infinite number of upper bounds. It means upper bounds and lower bounds if exist, then they are not real. Now we have discussed 2 examples. Now you can frame at least 5 examples. Frame at least 5 examples related to upper bounds and lower bounds. In next video, we will discuss about bounded above, bounded below, unbounded above, unbounded below. So for the time being, you can go through all the slides, and then in next lecture we will meet again. Thank you. Have a nice day.